Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Tuesday and y'all got about 45 minutes to chop it up with the kid. That's about all the time I have, man. Y'all know I'm always on the run, always on the go, knocking these clients out. But what's the word, man? Let me know how y'all feeling and living before we start building on this subject matter. Y'all see what it is. We talking about black people being the only ones that have to live in fear when we go back to where we grew up. Like that's the topic for the day, man. But what's the word? Let me know how y'all feeling and living before we start building, man. Talk to me before I start talking to y'all. What's the word? Y'all know this one of those passionate subjects, man. So I might go off on vent mode in regards to talking about this, but it is what it is, man. Y'all know how I get down sometimes, man, when it comes to certain topics. This is one of those topics, man. It's one of those topics, especially because I'm dealing with my people, man. I'm talking specifically and directly to my people, black people, man. You know, we got to do better as a unit. We got to do better as a collective, man. We got to do better, man. If we trying to break these generational curses and cycles, it starts at home, man. It starts at home. Darrell, Miss Nia, peace. What's happening? How y'all living and feeling? Moni, peace. What's happening, sister? What's the word? You know, we talk about all this talk about it starts at home, but how many of us are striving to make these adjustments and improvements? Like how many of us are literally striving to change home? Not many of us, you know, very select few. Instead, the ones that are striving to make some actual changes at home, which is the first home itself, those of us that are striving to make those changes, we get criticized, we get scrutinized and things like that. That's what's actually happened. You know, those of us that striving to break these generational curses, we getting criticized. That's what's actually happening. We are the only community where this is the key, man. We are the only community where this is happening. The only community. The only community. You cannot find another community that when mugs are out here striving to do what's right and exact, they get criticism from the outside. You ain't gonna find it. You're not gonna find it at the level that you find it in our community. Airview Peace, what's happening? You know, don't mind me, y'all. I'm building with a potential new client, man. We always working. But man, what other community is living like that, man? What other community is living like how we living? Go find me that community. Please go find me that community, and then I shut up. But I don't see it. And I've been around different groups, man. I've been around a lot of. I ain't gonna say a lot. I've been around a few. I've been around a few different groups, and we the only ones that's living like this, man. You striving to do what's right and exact, and you got to face criticism from your own people. You know, you got to face that jealousy and that envy from your own people. That's that's gonna be your downfall. You make a name for yourself out here, and you got to keep your head on swivel mode when you go back to where you grew up. When you go back to where you grew up, your head got to be on swivel mode. Simply because you made a name for yourself. You know, of course, sometimes we got these rappers out here, man. You know, they still out here in the streets. They still out here doing some ignorant nonsense, and then their music is attracting that energy to them. But sometimes brothers ain't doing nothing but striving to help the community. We have had cases where brothers just striving to help the community in which they grew up in, and they still got to take that L. All because dudes out here hate. Let's talk about that, man. Let's deal with that. You know, outside of this relationship talk, outside of all of that, man, let's talk about the relationship that we have with each other, man, with the neighborhoods that we grew up in, and how when you make a name for yourself, listen, it's a fear in regards of you going back there because you got to worry about another brother hating on you, and all it takes is one brother. All it takes is one brother. Listen, you can go back to your old neighborhood and get all the love in the world from 99% of them. All it takes is that one person, that one brother to hate on you, and that's it. That's it. That's all it takes. It just takes that 1%, just takes that one brother to hate on you, and that's it. That's all it takes, man. Mastermind, what's happening? Kuma, what's happening? R. Clark, Lindell, peace. Goddess Isis, peace. What's happening? That's all it takes, man. You know, that's why, listen, unfortunately, that's why my head is always on swivel mode when I'm in certain areas, man. It ain't necessarily about living in fear, but it's wisdom, man. It's me knowing and understanding that, hey, it's a possibility that, you know, if people know me around here and if they think I got something, you know, a lot of times they just assume, they make an assumption. They may see you conducting yourself in a certain type of light and may just think that you have something. And that's enough for them to try to take you out and hate on you. All because they think you have something. They think you live in a certain type of way. They ain't even got to confirm it these days. They don't even need to have no confirmation. They just think you living good out here. That's enough for them. Oh, this dude think he living better than us. We gonna take him out. Whole while you grew up with him. What other community got to worry about that? What other community got to worry about? Like I don't really too much hear these white dudes talking about, man, I grew up with this dude. I've been knowing this dude for 20 years and he hated on me. He shot me. He shot and killed me. I ain't never heard no Asian dude talking about that. I ain't never heard no Asian talking about, yeah, we've been knowing each other for 30 years. He tried to shoot and kill me all because I went left and he went right. Man, I ain't hearing that. Of course, I'm sure it goes on. But man, it doesn't go on as much as it goes on in our community. Now, of course, this is by design, but we got to stop clinging to that too. You know what I'm saying? We got to quit blaming all of that. Yes, we gonna understand the origin. All right, they put us in this position. They created this system for us to be in this position. Okay, now we adults, we have this knowledge. We have this knowledge of this system. We have this knowledge of self. Now what we doing? You know, we gonna acknowledge the role that these white folks then played in creating this system, but we ain't finna keep blaming them. We got enough power to where, okay, all right, we see what they did. Now let's change this. We ain't finna keep pointing blah. They did this. They set this power. They did this. Come on, man. We giving them too much power by doing that. We give these white folks way too much power when we do that. When we say, oh, these white folks created this system. That's why we are in the position that we are in. And we do nothing to change it. Man, I'm not finna keep giving them white folks that power, man. They ain't more powerful than me. They ain't more powerful than us. So why am I going to keep giving them that power? Somebody explain that to me, man. Why am I giving these white folks all this power? Yeah, they created this system, but guess what? They created this system out of fear of us coming together. So who's more powerful? So we just going to acknowledge their role and then we're going to do something about it. But that's not what we doing. That's not what we, instead of us striving to come together to own the land, we killing each other over the land that we don't own. You know, so we got this unity. We claiming these neighborhoods, right? We claiming these neighborhoods. Oh, I grew up on Crenshaw. I grew up on woo woo. We don't own these neighborhoods, but we got the unity on these neighborhoods that these white folks own. Then we killing each other over these neighborhoods. And we don't own any of these neighborhoods. Make that make any sense? That's what we doing. That's what we doing. We growing up in these neighborhoods, claiming these neighborhoods, claiming these streets, claiming these territories, and whole while we don't own any of them. And we dying over them. The least we can do if we gonna do that is at least strive to own some of this land that we dying over. If y'all gonna kill each other over land, man, own the land at least. That's the way your ancestors got down. You know what I'm saying? When tribal wars, they was fighting each other over land that they owned, over territory that they owned. So at least we could do that, man. At least if we gonna go to war with each other, at least own the territory. We don't own the territory. So we looking stupid out here, man. We looking real stupid. Claiming these, I'm not gonna claim a street that these white folks own. I'm not gonna be proud. This is my block. This is not my block. These white folks can come tear this block down anytime they want to, because they own it. So how is that your block? How is that your neighborhood? Come on, man. Stop playing with me, man. Y'all claiming these neighborhoods and don't own any of them. But y'all willing to die for them, though. Y'all willing to die over these colors, though. That's what we on. You mad at your brother, man, because he got on. He hustled. He grinded his way to the top. So you jealous of his work ethic. Now you want to end his life because you don't have the same work ethic. Or because you just not as skilled and talented. Man, work on your skill, master your craft, man. You got the same amount of time in the day that I do. And I have the same amount of time in the day that the next brother has. We all working with the same amount of time, man. So if I can put in the work, you can put in the work too. So don't hate on me because you didn't want to master your time. You didn't want to be efficient with your time. Don't do that. Peace to everybody tapping in, though. Moni, exactly. Goldie, peace, what's happening? Exact. At some point, Black folks piss me off. Like for real, y'all piss me off. Because at some point, I don't understand. It's a contradiction. We can't keep giving these white folks credit. You know what I'm saying? And then talk about how powerful we are, but then in the same breath act like we don't have the power to get back to that position. Like, which one is it, man? Are these white folks more powerful than you? Or are you more powerful than these white folks? I'm choosing the latter, man. We more powerful than these white folks. So again, yeah, they did this, but guess what we can do? That's the fear. That's why they created things the way that they did. But that don't mean that they cannot be overturned. So I'm not about to keep giving them that credit. I don't care what they did. I know what they did. I got plenty of books behind me that let me know what these white folks did. Let me know what these white folks are. I accepted that truth. So when they do wicked things, they just doing what is in their nature to do. I'm not finna hoop and holler because they just doing what they were born to do. That's it. So now I got to focus on my people so I can get y'all to realize that inner greatness that's within you. So when enough of us realize that, man, guess we unstoppable, which is what they know, which is why, come on, man, which is why I'm not going to waste time on them saying, hey, y'all did this to us. Y'all did that to us. So what? They not going to give us reparations. They not going to give us any money. They not going to give us any land. They're not going to give us anything. So why are we begging for them? Why every 4 years we listening to these politicians lie to us, making all these promises? They not going to give us anything. We gonna have to take whatever it is that we want out here, man. Straight up. But every 4 years we falling for the same okie doke. One of these pale faces on this camera lying to us, dancing to these hip hop songs, and then we slide Obama in there on us. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the game that they playing. They ain't giving us nothing. Everybody else got more rights than us. Everybody. Gay folks, trans folks, everybody. We at the total bottom. Why? Because we not coming together. We not putting no pressure on anybody to look out for our best interests, man. Y'all got to understand the game of politics. Claude Anderson got a book called Powernomics. It's somewhere behind me, man. If we want somebody to look out for us, we got to come together and put our money behind somebody. We don't do that. We don't do that, man. We don't come together collectively, put our money behind somebody and say, hey, if you don't look out for us, then this is what's going to happen to you. That's what all these other industries do. That's what all these other ethnic groups do. They move in silence. They come together and say, look, we want this interest protected. So we finna put all our money behind this candidate, behind this politician in our city. You know, so if we need something done, we already paying him. He on the payroll. So he gotta look out for us. He gotta look out for us. They keep us so divided so that we don't do that. Man, Ice Cube said they wanted to sit down with Donald Trump, and we was criticizing him. Man, all Ice Cube, listen, Ice Cube was trying to do what's right and exact, and Black, oh man, why you sitting down talking to dude? That's what we be on. That's what we whole while we get in this, we get in here with Uncle Joe, y'all favorite Uncle Joe, and they ain't did nothing for the Black folks because they not gonna do nothing for the Black folks because we not putting pressure on anybody to do anything for Black folks. We not making, listen, there is no fear. Them people like, we don't look out for Black folks. They not gonna care. They not gonna care. Ain't nobody in fear of not looking out for Black folks. Ain't nobody in fear of not protecting Black interests. Ain't nobody, even Black folks. That's why when the Black folks start running for, they gotta appeal to the white, but they ain't worried about us. They ain't worried about, we not putting money behind nobody to protect any interest that we have at all. And we talk all this talk. We talk, but we not willing to put that money where our mouths are, man. And again, I done worked in banking. I know the statistics. Black people collectively make a ton of money in the wilderness of North America. So we have it. We have it. If we just pulled that money in the right direction, man, I'm telling y'all, things would be different. Things would be definitely different. You know what I'm saying? But again, we fall for the same thing. We fall for the same thing every 4 years, man. Every 4 years, man. We want things to change. We got to come together, man. We got to come together. We got to pull that money together. You know what I'm saying? We got to pull that money together. We got to start buying up land. We got to start doing that, man. We got to start doing it. I have studied these other groups. I know what they doing, man. I know what they doing. Man, listen, I talked to Arabs. These Arabs don't be caring who the president is. These Asian folks don't be caring who the president is. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, look, Amos Wilson got a book. I don't know where the book at, man, but I bring this book up all the time, Blueprint to Black Power. Man, he said that, man. He talked about these other ethnic groups. They not worried about that. That's why we are the wild cards. That's why every time it is a campaign, they trying to get the black vote. They not trying to get the Asian vote. They not trying to get the Arab vote. They trying to get the black vote. Because we are the only fools out here that's falling for this stuff every 4 years. We the only fools. We the only fools that don't understand, hey, if we want something done, pull our money together and get it done. Pull our money and minds together and get it done. We the only fools that don't want to realize that. But we talk about it though. So that's why I'm starting to lose the sympathy, because we talk about it, but we do not do it. So we know it, we talk about it all the time, but we're not doing it though. Like, come on, man. We gotta listen, we gotta step it up, man. We gotta step it up. There's in no way, shape, or form, if I make a name for myself, should I be have to live in fear if I go to my neighborhood where I grew up. Man, they was hating on me in the neighborhood that I grew up before I ain't even got a name for myself, man. Breaking into my cars, all this type of stuff. This was happening simply because I had things that they didn't have. What they say, black, we can't have nice things. Man, that's messed up, man. You know, simply because I'm walking around with some subwoofers in my trunk, they gonna steal them. Twice, man. This happened to me twice, man. I couldn't walk around with no subs, man. They hating on me because I got subs and they don't, so they gonna destroy my whip, take my subs. Like, come on, man. 2 times. Like, this ridiculous, man. It shouldn't be like that, man. Shouldn't be like that at all, man. Shouldn't be like this at all. Like, this is getting ridiculous, man. This is getting ridiculous, man. They got a whole, I know y'all, they got Kia boys out here, man. They are stealing cars, literally. And instead of us condemning it, they out here making music. Yo, the Kia boys, they out here making music. You know what I'm saying? Like, they out here building a reputation, a name for themselves. People are fascinated with them. They out here stealing cars, yo. Like, this is what they do to Kia boys. They are out here stealing Kia cars. And instead of us condemning that, they out here making music and people vibing to the music. That's what people on out here. That's what we on. Corey, for sure. And that's the thing. Like I said, I ain't no voter. I don't vote, but this the way I feel. If we gonna have to listen, if they gonna try to force us to choose between the lesser of two evils, although we know they already got the person picked out, it's like the least we can do is what Ice Cube did, man. If we forced to deal with one of y'all, at least we about to try to put a battery in your back. Something. We about to come to some type of agreement, some type of term. We gonna try to 48 laws of power this thing. Keep your friends close, enemies closer. We about to try to do that or something. But no, we fall for the okie doke. We think we have a vote, bow, we place it, they select the person, and then we fall back, think our lives supposed to change. Because they promised it. Come on, man. Come on, man. We taking L's, man. I get when people talk about we making progress. No. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but emphatically no. I'm trying to tell y'all. Emphatically no. Just when you think we making progress, we are not. You know, we start to do the same exact things that we've always been doing. Being very predictable as a people. Very predictable, man. Very predictable. And it's starting to get disgusting, man. It's disgusting. It ain't even starting to get disgusting. It's been disgusting. But again, every time I tap in with people, they talking this good talk. Our ancestors this for the ancestors that. Well, what we doing to make them proud, man? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, man. Absolutely nothing. Youth is still misguided. Adults out here still worried about Kardashians and Kanye's and all these folks. Like, that's what we on. Like, that's the type of stuff that we on. That's where our mind is at. We want to see somebody hooping, holler, and just talk bad about black folks. caught up in some mindless gossip. Whole wild youth is still misguided out here. Nobody cares. And then we gonna criticize them and condemn them. Say, hey, these young bulls acting a fool. Well, what you doing? These young bulls acting a fool, but what you doing to ensure that they don't act a fool? Absolutely nothing. You out here debating about should somebody bring McDonald's to all the kids? MC, peace, what's happening? DC, peace, what's the word? Like that's what we are. Oh, Corey for sure. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we already know the voting is an illusion. You know what I'm saying? We learned that early. But again, like I said, when I used to tap in and tell folks that, oh snaps, they calling me all type of stuff, all type of ignorant. Because I'm like, it's rigged, it's an illusion, woo woo. Don't nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody want to hear that at all. When you start speaking in terms of that, don't nobody want to listen to you. Don't nobody want to hear that. Crazy. NT, you know, and the funny thing about power, listen, the funny thing about power and freedom, you know, and I say this all the time. This is why ownership is important. Because in order for us to really get that freedom and that power, one thing I feel like we need more of is time. See, a lot of our time is spent working for these folks, building up their empires and whatnot, enriching, like ensuring that their children, you know, continue to hold on to the wealth, inherit the wealth. That's what we do. With most of our time, we working 3 jobs. We working 2 or 3 jobs. And those 2 or 3 jobs ain't got nothing to do with us. Ain't got nothing to do with something that we can pass down. We working 2 or 3 jobs for these folks. That's what we doing. So we need more time. We do not have a lot of time because we spend most of our time working for them. That's why I'm always talking about ownership, being self-sufficient. We need to free up our time so that we can plot, plan, and strategize and execute. But we have limited time because everybody is out here slaving for these corporations. Cool. Get one gig, bow. All right. And then like listen, your side hustle should be yours. Your side hustle should be yours. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, whatever you making on that little part-time job, I guarantee you that you can find something of your own to do that makes that same amount of money. I guarantee you that. Guarantee you that. Stop being afraid to be great, man. I'm tired of telling black folks this, man. I'm tired. Like, listen, they didn't been benefiting off our blood, sweat, and tears for too long, man. I think we deserve a little more here. So stop telling yourself that you wasn't designed to be this and everybody not made to be this. Listen, a lot of us work. We just afraid to tap into that power, man. So stop giving them all your time. That's number one. We got to stop giving these folks all our time because they don't care anything about us. So we got to free up more of our time so we can come together more and plot, plan, and strategize and teach the youth what's right and exact. That's important. Time. In order for us to like exercise this power and acquire any type of freedom, we got to have time. Time is of the essence, man. What they say, time is money. Time is life, as I just read. Time is life. So we got to free up that time, man. Time is essential. And we just run around here, man, just building up their empires, building up their empires. I'm slaving. I'm afraid to be late for work because they're going to fire me. They're going to move on to the next person. And I'm afraid to tap into my inner greatness. So I got to rely and depend on them. Whole while, this job wouldn't be nothing. This corporation wouldn't be nothing without what we doing. Come on, man. Oh, Darren, for sure. Moni, I'm telling you. I'm talking about overly concerned about these individuals. Overly concerned. Overly concerned. I'm like, man, these dudes don't care anything about you. And I'm, hey, sorry to break it to you, but some of your favorite entertainers are trash individuals. They trash individuals. They have trash ego. Ego, man. Some of your favorite celebrities are these people that y'all just can't stop talking about. Will see you in person and will treat you like trash, treat you like the scum of the earth, like they are 1,000 times better than you. Ain't nobody got time for that. I ain't got no time for that. I ain't starstruck by any of these folks. Man, they bleed just like I bleed. Man, I don't care nothing about these folks. Plan A radio. I'm trying to tell you, man. That's what I'm trying to tell. We gotta make sacrifices out here, man. Literally, that's part of the game. I'll be trying to tell people, man. Listen, hey, you leaving that job and focusing on your own thing, man. Listen, it's gonna be rough at first, but I'm trying to tell you, bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. And people be afraid. They be afraid to make that leap, man. They be afraid to do it. You gotta know. You gotta know what you capable of, man, and go for it. You will never regret that. Plan A radio, man. I'm trying to, man. I know people that do Uber. I know people that do Instacart. I'm sure, man. It's where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to free yourself, man, there's a way out here to do it. People just be lazy, man. People just be lazy, man. There are a lot of ways. There are a ton of different ways to just make ends meet without you having to clock in for these folks. Like straight up. I know people that do a bunch of everything, man. It's like, man, I'm not gonna clock in. I'm finna do this. I'm gonna do this so that I can free up some time so that I can focus on this. You know, so let me Instacart, let me Uber. Yeah, that still may be enriching them, but I'm doing this so that I can focus on this more. So then when I'm done doing this, when I'm done Ubering and Instacart, now I done built up my business because I was able to focus on it more because I freed up my time. Corey, that's what I be trying to tell people that all the time, man. We got black folks got it. We got to walk away. We got to create not our own corporate America, but we got to walk away from corporate America. We got to listen. We got to let them know how much we worth. Walk away from corporate America, and enough of us come together, do our own thing, and we support one another. We can't be stopped. We cannot be stopped. But then again, keyword I just hit was support. We got to support one another. So boom, that's a key, man. We can't be hating. Man, I love supporting another brother, man. I love supporting a sister that's doing her own thing, man. Like straight up. That we got to exercise that support a lot more, you know. Walk away from these jobs, man. If you're talented, man, look, a lot of us are talented, a lot of us are skilled. You know what I'm saying? Master that craft. You master that craft, do your own thing. Then when you do your own thing, we got you. That's how we got to live. That's how we got to do it. Ruben, peace, what's happening? Oh, Plan A radio, man. I know, man. I'm trying to tell you. I know a few. I mean, I know a few people. I train a few people. That's how they rock it. Whole while they pursuing the endeavors that they want to pursue. They doing this like, all right, I'm finna do this to generate the funds so that I can travel here to do what I need to do. And I ain't gotta be asking people for no time off. And they rejected me, and I'm stressed out. Like, man, nobody got time for that. You got somebody, a family member that died, and you gotta ask for permission to go to the funerals. Hey, get out of here, man. You gotta be in fear for your job because somebody in your family that died and you gotta miss time at work. Man, come on, man. Don't play with me, man. Like, don't play with me, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta walk away from corporate America. People might not like to hear that, you know, on some Dame Dash vibes, but for real, we out here slaving, man. Continuing to make them rich. That's why a lot of things are not changing. Oh, Goldie, man, for sure. Rosewood, Black Wall Street, man. And there was a few other small communities, man. Again, Amos Wilson got it in his book, Blueprint to Black Power. You know, hey, and I brought up the book, The Slocum Massacre. Man, a little town in Texas. This was like 1920s or a little bit before that. Crazy, man. We had, listen, y'all know about it, man. I'm from, like, my people's from Mississippi, man. It's a lot of small towns where it's black folks there. It's like it's potential in these places, man. You know, we got a lot of areas where we heavily populate, where we are the predominant force there, but we don't own nothing. All we got to do is start owning these places where we at. That's when we start there, man. If it's 80% black folks here, why don't we own 80% of this land? It's 80% of us, it's 80% of us somewhere, and we might own less than 1% of the land, but it's 80% of us there. Come on, man. Like, that don't make any sense. is we in the city, we in a town, is 80%, 90% black, but we don't own 90% of this land though. Nah. That's ridiculous to me, man. That don't even make, that doesn't add up, man. It doesn't add up. You know, so again, ownership, entrepreneurship, self-sufficiency. We at some point we gotta, listen, we gotta kill that dependency that we have on these folks, man. Gotta kill it, man. Let them do their own little thing. They'll be all right. And again, people hear this hate speech. Not once did I say anything about hating white folks. That ain't even where we at with it. I'm just saying they'll be all right on their own. Let us do our own thing. They do their own thing. Woo. You know, if we need something from them, we can negotiate. We ain't talking about no bloodshed. We ain't talking about killing folks. We ain't talking about hating folks. But I'm just saying, in order for us to change our position in life, we got to start dealing with each other. We got to start unifying and fooling with each other a lot more. Again, every other ethnic group understands this. It's when we start talking like this that it becomes a problem. And it becomes a problem not amongst the other ethnic groups, because most of them understand it. It becomes a problem amongst us. You have to fight with another black person when you talk about unifying. And of course, this is programming, but like that's your biggest fight. When you start talking about unifying, you about to have to argue up and down with another brother and sister. I love all people, and we should all be. Listen, I hear that, but we trying to change the condition of people that look like you. You can still love all these people, but you got to prioritize people that look like you, because you got kids that look like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. We do not understand, like, being race first don't mean you hate all the other groups of people. That ain't what that means, man. You can still have love for these other groups, man. You can still mingle outside of your race, man. And when I say mingle, y'all know what I mean. Not in that sense. I'm talking about have like partnership, not business relationships, but like, do business with them. That's what I mean by mingle. That is what I mean. But we gotta really put in this work, man. Like, we gotta really put in this work. And I'm talking about we gotta put in this work on a consistent basis, man. And that's why I'm always striving to just educate myself in regards to business, man. That's some of the, that's some of the information that a lot of people don't like to do. Dean, peace, what's happening? Just studying the technicalities of business, of law. Like, we got to understand these things. We got to know these things. So we gotta know how to move, man. Okay, we operating under this system, but we gotta know and understand the rules. All right, these are the rules. All right, cool. Let me master this. Let me master this game. Just like they studied us and mastered us. All right, we're gonna study them, master them. Boom, we're gonna study the enemy. They put a lot of information in these books. Now, I'm talking about these books written by them. They give you a lot of information. They tell you exactly what to do. They put this information in the book for a reason. They say, all right, we're gonna put this information in the book because these folks ain't gonna read it. They ain't gonna read it. So then when you start reading, that's why when you start reading it and you start putting these things into motion, they like, hold up. Dude must have read this book that I wrote because I put it in this book. Hold on, this is a threat. He wasn't supposed to find out this information. I didn't think he was gonna read. So that's why I be studying now. I got a book, Peter Lynch. You know what I'm saying? One Up on Wall Street. I'm gonna study what they doing. I'm gonna study Warren Buffett. I'm gonna study the Rockefellers. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see what they doing. I'm gonna study the Rothschilds. I'm gonna see how they moving, so I can know, so I can be able to like identify these things, put the pieces to the puzzle. I'm gonna study these folks. Why would I not do that? Why would I not do that? See, that's part of the problem, man. We're not studying these folks, man. Just like you put in all that work to study your so-called enemy on this neighborhood, when you study the enemy on a larger scale, man, you can conquer this world. Big Smooth and The Prince too. That book, by Machiavelli. And shout out to Tupac. That's the reason why I read that book, The Prince. It also goes into detail in regards to that. I'm telling you, they laid out all the blueprints. All you gotta do is pick up a few books. Boom. 48 Laws of Power, the most wicked book on the planet. It lets you know how they operate. It lets you know how they operate. You read 48 Laws of Power, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I get it now. This is exactly how they operate. It's exactly how they move it. Same author. Got book 33 Strategies of War. They letting you know how they move. It's right in your face. They like, boom, this how we do it. This how we do you. Keep them enemies close. Ooh, so they finna keep these black folks close. They finna employ all the black folks. Come on, man. How you think they moving? Come on, man. They putting it right in the book. They gave you laws. They said these 48 laws. This is how we got this power. Y'all gonna read this, but y'all ain't really gonna understand what this is. Y'all gonna use this book against each other before y'all use it against us. They knew that. That's what we doing. They put it right there in our face, like, boom, we're gonna give them 48 laws of power. We're gonna let them know how we got this power. We're gonna let them know. We're gonna give them 48 laws. These are the 48 exact laws of how we got this power. And guess what? They gonna read this joint, they gonna use it against each other more than they use it against us. Ha ha ha. And there we go. We use the 48 laws of power against each other on social media, on these platforms. That's what we do. And they knew it. They knew that. They knew this how that would unfold. They knew it. That's why they be sitting back laughing. They're like, yeah, we gonna give them this book, and this how they gonna move. And we moved exactly like that. Exactly like it. So at some point, we got to stop being bamboozled. At some point, we got to stop falling for the okie doke. I don't know at which point that will be collectively, because it be looking gross. Every time I think and try to give us a little benefit of the doubt, negative. Negative. Like extra negative, you know? Just when I think, I'm like, all right, we waking up. Muzz out here talking about they ain't finna go get no jab. They ain't finna go get this jab. They ain't finna let them. And then they jabbed up. After we done told you. After we done gave you the information. They spooked you. Oh, yeah, you're going to lose your job. You're going to lose your job. You got to get jabbed up. We're going to put all these rules and regulations out here. You don't get jabbed up, this going to happen to you. And here we go. They instill fear in us, man. They instilled the fear in us. You know? So we got to stop playing, man. We got to unify. We got to get together. We got to, listen, we got to come to some type of common agreement, man. Some type of common foundation, some type of common understanding. We don't have that. We can't agree on nothing collectively. The only thing we can agree on collectively is when they shoot and kill one of us. Like when the cops shoot and kill a young black boy, young black girl. Oh, we can come together for that, you know, and really we only come together to hoop and holler and scream. Oh yeah, Goldie, man. Hey, Joe stay sick. He stay catching COVID. You know what I'm saying? He stayed with it. You know, we done been trying to put people on the herbs, you know, on the fasting, on the cleansing, on the detoxing, on the vegan plant-based lifestyle. Nobody want to listen. Trying to tell black folks, hey, you need to change the way you eating. This food out here garbage. Need to change the way you eating. They don't want to believe me. Oh, the way you eat ain't got nothing to do with that. It ain't got nothing to do with you get sick. Those are the type of arguments that I got to get. Those are the type of conversations that I got to have with my own people. How ignorant that sounds. How ignorant that sounds. Oh, man, what you eat ain't got nothing to do with no virus. How ignorant that sounds. We just eat up everything they tell us, man. It ain't got nothing to do with it. Can't believe that people will be this foolish to believe that. But they are. Something attacks your immune system with all the vitamins and minerals and nutrients in food, antioxidants and all of that. You don't think that what you eat has any role in protecting you against something that attacks your immune system. Then what do you eat for? What do you eat for if you don't think the food has anything to do with what are you eating it for? Like, what do you eat for? Like, what are you eating for? You don't think this food has anything to do with your health. Why are you eating it? You don't think this food can protect you against anything. Why are you eating it? You idiot. Like, this is foolish, man. Foolish, man. People, it's like it's foolish, man. It's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. You don't think a fruit and a vegetable can protect you against something if you eat enough of it. What do you think they exist for? What do you think these things exist for, man? But you want to argue with me though. When I tell you, hey, eat them fruits and vegetables fast, give your digestive system a break. You want to argue. We want to argue. And and what Jazz and Chris, I'm gonna do y'all one solid though. Cause that's what people tell you, but that ain't like deep down, no. People know that they gotta eat in order to live. So people know this. Because what happens, the first thing when people get sick, what is the first thing that they try to tell you that you need to do? Although this is a lie, they tell you that you need to eat something. So people subconsciously know that the food can supply them with a source of power, energy, and all of that type of good stuff. They subconsciously know that. They subconsciously know that. They know that. They know that. That's why one of the first things people get sick, they try to eat something, which is backwards. Really, you should not be eating anything. But they know this stuff. They know this. They know this. Hence why when I start talking about bones and they start talking to me about protein and calcium, and I need to drink my milk. I need to eat this. I need to eat the meat for this. They start breaking these things down to me. So they know on a subconscious level that they need to eat certain foods to protect the bones, to do X, Y, Z, to supply them with energy. Because they breaking this down to me. The only time they want to bring up pleasure and emotional eating is when they start eating the junk food. But the outside of that, they actual meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they think they eating something that's supplying them with some type of life force. They think they eating a source of protein and that's helping them build stronger bones and stronger muscles. This is what they think is happening. Because that's what the food pyramid and told them. So when they eating that breakfast, somebody told them breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So they think they need to eat a hearty it's called a hearty breakfast. We got TV dinners that be like hearty breakfast. Like they think that that's what they doing subconsciously. So no, people know the importance of food, and they think that some of the food that they are eating is supplying them with this life force, this energy, this power, building up the bones, building up the muscle. That's not what's happening, though. But then when I start telling them, when I start breaking it down to them and telling them the certain foods to eat to do that, then now it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem. The very food that was put here on this planet for you to eat, when I'm just simply telling you to eat more of those, now you want to argue and tell me why you need to be eating the food that you are eating because some doctor told you this whole while you're on 20 different medications. All I'm telling you is do something different. You on 20 different medications, so obviously this way that you have been eating has not been helping you. So it's time for you to try something different. What is your vegetable and fruit intake? Oh, it's very low. Increase your intake. See how that works out for you. You ain't finna find me one person on this planet that will increase their intake of fruits and vegetables and it don't work out for the better. But why I got to argue with everybody when I say that? Like I'm gonna listen, it's gonna start turning into like we about to have to start boxing or something. Because it's getting on my nerves when I tell people, man, just increase your intake of fruits and vegetables, and people start asking me, where the protein? I gotta have this, I gotta have that. No, you do not. But I didn't even tell you to eliminate anything. I just simply said add more of this. Stacy, Navy beans. Elijah Muhammad was big on the Navy beans. I even got a book. This sounds gross, but they made a smoothie. It was like a Navy bean smoothie. I ain't tried it yet. That sounds disgusting, but yeah, Navy beans are crucial. Antonio, for sure. So people, hey, people know what it is. People know. People know what it is, man. People like, listen, there ain't a person on this planet that don't know a vegetable is healthy. Hence why they done told us as kids, make sure you eat your vegetables. Even though the vegetables was a small portion on the plate, but they was adamant about, hey, make sure you eat your vegetables. As a kid, they tried to get you to eat your vegetables because we all know how important vegetables are. But now all of a sudden we become adults, we become stupid now. Like, nah, you was trying to get your son to eat them vegetables. Why were you trying to get him to eat his vegetables? Because you knew the power of eating the vegetable. You knew the importance of eating the vegetable. They told you, make sure your kid eat the vegetables so they grow strong. Popeye ate spinach. Why did he eat the spinach? When he ate the spinach, what happened to him? He got stronger. So, man, no. People know what the deal is. People know what the science is. People know these things, man. People know these things. You know, we just full of BS. We just make a bunch of nonsense excuses. We cry all the time and we wonder why things ain't changing. I don't have no sympathy for folks because we know the truth. They done slapped us with it. They done slapped us over the head with it plenty of times. Plenty of your ancestors, plenty of your elders and told you the truth. You just keep ignoring it because you want to keep listening to these white folks. You want to keep listening to these white folks. You want to keep listening to these uneducated doctors who only required to take one course on nutrition. But you want to listen to them tell you what to eat. You want to listen to them tell you that you can have cheese for lunch, but you can't eat no strawberries. That's what you want to listen to that. You want to listen, hey, you can have this sandwich, you can have this burger, but eliminate bread, but you can have the patty and the cheese, but you can't eat a cup of fruit because that's going to raise your sugar. Go find me somebody on this planet that died because they didn't eat the proper amount of fruits. Man, you ain't even finna. Go find me somebody that's suffering right now in the hospital because they ate the proper amount of fruits and vegetables, because they ate fruits for lunch. Go find me somebody that's sitting in the hospital right now because they had fruits for lunch. They had a couple of fruits for lunch, a couple of fruit. Go find me that person. But I can go find you a ton of people. I can pull up the number. I can pull up the numbers of folks that's in hospitals right now suffering from cancer, diabetes, heart disease, hypertension. I can pull up all these numbers and we can go connect it back to what you eat. And it ain't got nothing to do with the fruit. I guarantee you. I'm waiting for somebody to disprove. I guarantee you that. We can link all of these things back to lifestyle. And it's like 30 to 45% diet. Come on, man. We put in the work. We study, man. So again, all of those conditions that I named, 30 to 45% of it revolves around what you eat. But you want to tell me, oh, genetics is less than 5%. So stop playing with us, man. Stop playing with me, man. Genetics is less than 5%. So when I tell you something don't run in your family, I mean that. When I tell you high blood pressure don't run in your family, how bad habits do, I mean that. That's less than 5%. But that diet accounts for 30 to 45%. So what you eat is more important than the family you was born in. Let me repeat that. What you eat is more important than the family that you were born into. But we didn't reverse that. We think the family that I was born into is more important than what I eat. That's false. That's big false. And they got the statistics out here that is slapping you right in your face, man. Right in your face, man. There are a select few conditions that have something to do with your genetics. And even still, what you eat can turn a switch on or off. So even if there is a condition that runs in your family, what you eat can still play a role into whether or not the switch is turned on or off. But here we go. Here we go. I got to argue with everybody because I'm out here telling folks to eat fruits and vegetables. That's it. That's all I'm telling you. Oh, hey, go ahead and fast. Go 24 hours with just water or smoothies. I got to drop kick you. But I gotta eat. Okay. Simple stuff, man. How many of y'all know somebody that's on some medication right now? Hey, you might be one of them. I know a handful. It don't take me that far. I know all type of people that's on medication and don't even have to be on it. That's the sad part. That's the sad part. Most of the people that I know that are on medication don't have to be on it, but the doctors and told them, hey, you're going to have to be on this medication for your life, for the rest of your life, for some simple stuff. High blood, man, you don't have to be on no high blood pressure medication for the rest of your life. Man, do you know how simple it is to get your blood pressure back to a normal and regular level? Like, come on, man. Like, I hate those arguments, man. When somebody telling me, well, I got to take these meds, and they don't think there's anything that they can do naturally to get off the meds. Somebody told them they got to take them for the rest of their life, and they think they just, come on, man. I hate that, man. I hate it. I hate seeing it. I hate having conversations with these folks because you can't tell them nothing. The doctor then told them they got to take these meds for the rest of their life, and they believe it. They believe it. High blood pressure, man. Come on, man. One of the simplest things to get under control. Man, what you eat. Listen, my goodness, it's so easy to get that blood pressure. There's no reason for you to be on blood pressure medication, man. What you eat directly impacts your blood pressure, man. So I got to argue with that. So it's just unnecessary energy, man. Like, I shouldn't have to tell y'all this, man. Listen, diabetes is easy to pinpoint. You know what I'm saying, in regards to how you come up with diabetes. But yet we don't think we can reverse it. We don't think we can reverse it. Come on, man, because somebody, they done told us, oh, this is irreversible. All these cancers out here are irreversible. Come on, man, they lying, man. They lying to you. Come on, fam. Like, they lying to you. They want you to keep eating these garbage foods. They don't want to tell you, hey, 90% of what you eating, all this trash food, cancer cells thrive on. That's their food. So we're going to give you all this processed food. Whole while cancerous cells, they love to eat this processed food. So that's just going to make your cancer worse on top of this treatment. It's called a treatment, not a cure. But, you know, people look at a person crazy. Jasmine, peace, what's happening? They look at a person crazy. When he want to take the holistic route, the natural route. Oh, you crazy. What, you trying to die? But then these people will get the treatment and still die. Oh, you trying to go the holistic route. You must don't care about your life. Oh, but you care about your life because you get the treatment and it speeds up your process. Stop playing with me, man. Y'all got to stop. We got to stop playing, man. We have got to stop playing. We got to start taking care of ourselves. And I'm tired of excuses. Y'all got to understand that that's my field that I'm in. And all I hear and see are excuses. Man, people won't work out and blame it on the most trash of, like, it'd be garbage. The stuff that people be saying. Garbage, man. It don't be nothing legitimate, man. Like 1% of the time, it might be something legitimate. Other than that, we just full of excuses. Full of excuses, man. Lack all type of discipline and just want to blame stuff on any and everything. Man, stop that. You know that you're not supposed to be doing something, don't do it. I don't want to hear no garbage reasoning. I don't want to hear no justification. I don't want to hear none of that. Get it under control. Shit, if you emotional eating, get your emotions under control. We too old for that, man. We too old to be like, I'm eating emotion. No, you get your emotions under control. You have identified the problem. If you got to go pay somebody to help get your emotions under control. If you know the source of your problem, when I get emotional, I tend to eat this. I tend to eat bad. Okay, pay somebody to help you get your emotions under control. If you don't want to do that yourself. I'm sick of us sitting around here identifying problems, but then just crying about it, but don't do nothing. That makes me mad. I get emotional. I do this. What are you doing to improve on your emotional intelligence? What are you doing? Absolutely nothing. If you are doing absolutely nothing, I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you. I have no sympathy. If you have identified, you say, all right, this is the source of my problem, and you ain't doing nothing to solve it, no, I don't have no sympathy for you at all. Where there's a will, there's a way, you know? So stop making those excuses. I ain't got time. Yes, you do. I don't even want to hear that. I ain't got time. Yep, you do. Stop lying. You know what I'm saying? You got time. You got time to stroll all up and down social media. You got time to go to the club when you want to go to the club. You got time to go on all of these trips. You got the money to save up for all of these trips. So you got the money and time to invest in training and eating healthy, all of that. You just don't want to make the sacrifice. But you got the time though. You definitely got the time. I don't want to hear none of that. Like I'm burnt out on excuses, man. I'm burnt out on all that, man. Go tell that to somebody else who cares. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care at all, man. I done seen people in the worst of circumstances still make time to work out, exercise, eat right. I done seen it. You know what I'm saying? I done seen it. Every condition that you claim you got that's holding you back, I done seen a person with that condition plus more still be dedicated and committed to working out and eating right. So I don't want to hear none of that. I done been training for too long, man. I didn't been training, man. It's almost going on 10, man. Listen, it's going on a very long time since I've been training. 7, 8 years. I've been doing this thing for a minute. I've been working out myself for my whole life. But I've been training 6, 7 years, man. I came across a lot of people, man. I came across a lot of unique situations. And I done seen people where I was amazed. I'm like, man, how are you finding the time to keep coming in here? How is this even possible? But then I go see a person that got, 10% of the problems that this other person has, and they can't never work out. Come on, man. Stop playing, man. People don't be wanting it bad enough, man. Chris, yeah, rest is important. I tell people all the time, rest is the most of that's when you grow. You know what I'm saying? When you working out and you exercising, you actually that's stress. You breaking the muscle down. Resting is what builds the muscle up. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you actually get your results. When you rest, man, if you do not rest properly, then you're not able, like, listen, you're not able to get those results, man. Your bones are not able to, you're not able to rebuild the damage or repair the damage that you caused by working out. Again, working out, that's stress. That's boom, that's breaking the muscle down. But you need to balance that out with the proper rest. So then, boom, when we repair the muscle, when we repair the damage that was caused to the muscle via working out, it's going to come back stronger. But if you do not rest long enough, then it cannot happen. Moni, I'm trying to tell you, I get caught all type of, I mean, I got like 20, 30 books behind me right now that links the overconsumption of animal protein to every ailment that I name. I got like over 20, 30 books. And instead of people going to read the books that I post, because apparently when I say it, I'm just talking. So when I give people the research material, say, hey, I got all of this information from these books. People don't want to read the books. They want to be emotional. I am trying to tell you from a genuine place. Listen, I didn't just stop eating. Like, people got to understand, I didn't just stop eating meat because I just wanted to. I wasn't just looking out for the animals. Like, I care for the animals, so therefore I'm going to stop eating meat. No, I researched. Like, I was coming across knowledge, information. I'm like, hold on. I wasn't taught this. I ain't know this. I'm reading. This is why I made the transition. I didn't make the transition because I care for the animals. I didn't make the transition because I was trying to be a part of PETA. Like, no, I was reading. And this is over 10 plus years ago. So when people start coming at me for talking about the overconsumption of animal protein, and I bring up these books, so people do everything but read the books that I post. And want to continue to argue with the research. Do not argue with me. This is research. I've read literally, I got all 20, 30 books talking about that. Then I got 20, 30 books that's let you know why to eat meat. So listen, that's how you do it. I don't just study why you shouldn't eat meat. I study why you should eat meat. And then boom, that's how you come to a conclusion. That's how I reach my conclusion. Even the books that's telling you to eat meat, nobody is eating the meat in the form in which they are telling you to eat it. So again, man, like I'm trying to tell people, then when I give folks the book, they do everything but I literally just read, I finished this whole book, Conscious Eating. This book, Conscious Eating. I just read this book is over 800 pages. Over 800 pages. It's an 800-page book. about nutrient, about raw plant-based lifestyle. 800-page book. I literally just read that. This is the type of research that must be done. I ain't want to read that, but I had to. Man, it's an 800-page book. It took me like 2 weeks to read this. It took me 2 weeks to read this one book, but I had to. Steel sharpens steel. So I had to read this book, man. But then if I go tell somebody else to read it that wants to argue with me, they're not gonna read it. They're just gonna argue. So I don't have time for that, man. People be trying to tell me I would read the books that I am suggesting and recommending and argue with that. Do not argue with me. Like I'm not the source of the information. I'm getting the information from resource. I'm researching. I didn't just wake up one day. Listen, I didn't just wake up one day and then these were my thoughts. That ain't what happened. I didn't just wake up one day and say I'm about to stop eating meat. It was a process. It was a process. I was studying. I read, okay, how to eat to live. Elijah Muhammad. I say, I ain't never heard, I knew about the Muslims and, not eating pork, but I ain't never heard about not eating. I'm listening to dead prayers. And dude was like, I'm listening to be healthy. Be careful how you season and prepare your foods because you don't want to lose vitamins and minerals. I'm like, what is he talking about? He's like, I don't eat no meat, no dairy, no sweets. Only ripe vegetables, fresh fruit, and whole wheat. I'm like, man, what is these dudes talking about? You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing the knowledge to what is being said and I'm studying. I'm like, man, I ain't never, what is vegan? I'm like, what is this? So I'm studying these things. And that's leading to the research. So again, I tell people, do the research. That's what people are afraid to do. People are afraid to study things. Listen, people are afraid to study that type of stuff, man, because then they gonna listen. It's accountability. Once you start studying these things, man, it's gonna tell you that hey, you might need to make these changes. And when you're not making these changes, then it's on you at that point. Your bad health is your fault. That's why people don't be wanting to read 800-page books on why you should be a plant-based eater. I mean, it's a ton of evidence in this book. I got a ton of highlights. Like I got a ton of highlights, man. I was highlighting all throughout this book, and it's just one of them. There's one of them. Like I said, I got plenty of them. So we gotta get it together, man. I go out of my way to recommend books to folk. So I would appreciate if some of the people that likes to argue would just read the books. Sit. Bathe the soul, peace. What's happening? I would appreciate that. For the folks that like to argue with some of the things that I'm saying, please read the books that I'm going out of my way to suggest and recommend to you all. That is all that I'm asking. When somebody recommends me a book, I go read it. I got a lot of books behind me that were recommended. Like when you recommend me a book, I'm going to get the book. I'm going to read the book so I can see where you are coming from. I'm not just going to criticize you all because I emotionally don't agree with what you said. That ain't how we operate. That ain't how we function. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I got to tap out. This was a good build, man. As always, man, appreciate y'all tapping in, man. We started off good. Then, we had to deviate from the original subject matter, man. We had to vent about something else, but it is what it is. We still got to point across both ways, but I'm out, man. I got to make my rounds, man. Got a busy evening ahead, man. So y'all be easy. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Tuesday, man. I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all. I'm out. Peace.